Hello, this is Jo from Maths Tutor Me. Today we're doing a lesson on equations and we're starting with one-step equations. We did do a lesson before on inverse operations, so hopefully you watched that. But if you didn't, here is a quick recap. If you want to solve an equation, you need to do the opposite function to go in reverse. So if something is added to something else, the opposite thing is to subtract. If something is subtracted, the opposite is to add. Add and subtract are opposites of each other. And multiply and divide are opposites of each other or inverses of each other as well. Okay, so today we're doing one step, which means just one function. We want to perform one operation, either add, subtract, multiply, or divide, to get the pronumeral by itself and hence solve the equation. So, solve each one-step equation. Number 1, v plus 4 equals 7. So, I want to get v by itself, which means this 4 here is the one number, which is in my way to having v by itself. So, I need to do the opposite. I have a plus 4. The opposite, or the inverse, is to subtract that 4. Now, it's a good idea to get into the habit of writing these little working out steps underneath your equation. I need to subtract that 4, but to keep my equation balanced, I need to subtract it from both sides. So I put a little minus 4 under each side of my equal sign, under each side here. That means that plus 4 minus 4 will cancel away there, and the v will be by itself. And on this side, I can calculate 7 minus 4 is equal to 3. Now at this stage, a lot of people say, oh, that's easy. I didn't need to do all that working out or all that complicated stuff. I could tell from that one-step equation that v was going to be equal to 3. Often with one-step equations, the answers are very obvious, but it's important when you're first starting to learn equations to get into these habits of doing this working out, because what will happen is the equations will get more complicated. We'll get two-step equations, three-step equations, we'll get pronumerals on both sides, we'll get brackets, we'll get all sorts of interesting things. And if you get into this habit, what we're doing now, this working out, it makes all those harder equations much easier. So let's try it again. P minus 3 is equal to 11. Here's my P. The minus 3 is the number that I need to move away. So the opposite of minus is to plus. I need to plus the 3. So I've done it to this side of the equation. I need to do it to the other side of the equation as well. These will cancel off, leaving the P all by itself. And 11 plus 3 is 14. Okay, it's pretty straightforward. Let's do it again. 2a equals 18. 2a, that actually means times, 2 times a. So the opposite is to divide to get rid of that 2. So I have to divide this side as well, and that will cancel that off. You can write divide, or just for a little note here, you could do a fraction as well. It means the same thing. So a is by itself. 18 divided by 2 is 9. A is equal to 9 is my solution. Next one, y over 7 is equal to 3. Fraction means divide, so the opposite would be to times by 7 to both sides to cancel that off. Y is by itself, and 3 times 7 is equal to 21. Alright. Question 5. 9 plus k is equal to 20. Now this is a bit different because we usually like to have our letters first, but we can still do it even though it's added the other way around. The k is not 9 plus k, the 9 is positive, so the opposite would be to subtract the 9. Cancel that one off. So k is by itself, and 20 minus 9 is 11. 4m is equal to negative 24. So we just got have a few negatives creeping into our questions here, which makes them a little bit trickier. That's 4 times m. So the opposite is to divide. This time I'll do it as a fraction. Divide by 4. Divide by 4. Okay, that cancels the 4's away, so m is by itself. Now, minus 24 divided by 4 is a negative 6. If you're not comfortable with dividing negative numbers, remember you've always got your calculator to help you out if you need it. F over minus 5 is equal to minus 7. So F over, or divide. Now even though there's a minus sign here, I'm actually dividing by minus 5. So the opposite is to times by a minus 5. You can actually times by a negative number. I need to do it over here as well. Times by a negative 5. And that will cancel that off. F is by itself. Minus 7 times minus 5. Two negative numbers times together will make a positive, and 7 times 5 is 35. Question 8. Q plus 12 equals 3. I'm adding 12, so the opposite would be to subtract 12 to both sides to cancel that away. Q is by itself. 3 minus 12. I'm taking away more than what I have. I'm going into negative numbers. That will give me a negative 9. G divided by 2.1 equals 3.8. It even works for decimals. So I'm dividing by 2.1. The opposite is to times by 2.1. Times by 2.1. To cancel those off, G is equal to 3.8 times 2.1. Not too many people can do that in their head. Let's use the calculator. 3.8 times 2.1 equals 7.98. And one last question down here. B minus 7.9 equals minus 4.3. The opposite of subtracting, I need to add 7.9 to both sides. Keep it balanced. Cancel those away. So B is equal to, now that's another tricky one, let's use our calculator, minus 4.3 plus 7.9 equals 3.6. Okay, so here are some questions just like the ones we've just done for you to have a practice. If you want to print any of my sheets that you see here on Maths Tutor Me, you can go to my website and print them all off so you don't have to write all the questions down yourself. So just repeat what we've just done, try to show all the working out, get into that really good habit of showing your working out, pause the video, and then when you're all done, start the video up and we'll go through the answers. So question 1. A plus 7 is equal to 10. So plus 7, the opposite would be, the inverse would be to subtract 7. Got to do it to both sides to keep it balanced. Okay, so A is by itself. 10 minus 7 is 3. Alright, 5b, which is 5 times b, is equal to 30. The opposite of timesing by 5 is to divide by 5. To move that away. So b is by itself. And 30 divided by 5 is 6. Question 3. C divided by 4 is equal to 3. The opposite of divide is to times by 4 to both sides to cross that one away. So C is equal to 3 times 4, which is 12. D minus 7.3 is equal to negative 12.8. Okay, minus here means the opposite is to add 7.3. Okay, cancel those off. So D is equal to minus 12.8 plus 7.3. You might need a calculator for that. So minus 12.8 plus 7.3 equals minus 5.5. How are you going? Got them all right so far? Number 5. Minus 8e is equal to minus 3.2. Now that minus 8 is times with the e, so I actually need to divide that by a negative 8 to move it away. Divide by negative 8. Okay, to cancel those away. E is equal to minus 3.2 divided by minus 8. The minuses will actually cancel away. Minus 3.2 divided by minus 8, and we get 0.4. 0.4. 6. F divided by minus 9 is equal to 2. So the opposite of divide is to times by negative 9. Times by negative 9 on that side as well. F is now by itself, and 2 times minus 9 will make a negative 18. Alright, hopefully you did pretty well with those. Join me next lesson and we will go and do some two-step equations. Alright, until then, practice some more and we'll see you next time. Bye!